Stoic Sunday. Getting our microphones on. Now, I got an update from somebody last week. Wrong button. That
You're good at that.
people were having trouble hearing me. Are you picking on me?
Always.
Picking on me on Mother's Day? Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
You're not my mother, sweetie.
So that's why you get to pick on me?
Mhm.
Oh. I didn't know about these rules.
Well, take you out to eat. Let you work a 12-hour day.
All right. Got our microphones on?
Like me, yeah.
Yeah. Now last week your green light was blinking, so hopefully that's
Yeah. Some questions.
Oh, there's people on already. Awesome. All right. Welcome to Training with Burros. Today we're talking about what makes training a donkey so hard for new people. Now, guys, I just got done with the most awesome clinic here, right here. It was amazing. We worked on drawing the animal to. We worked on haltering, like getting them ready to halter, like front, circle, trailering feet, and we went on a hike.
You like a busy clinic.
The clinic people are probably really tired because I know I am.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I was so excited to see the progress that people were making and just to be like happy with their takeaways from the clinic.
Yeah.
And it was my first clinic ever, so I was really wanting to make sure people had good takeaways.
My person's
So here we have Richard. Happy Richard.
yeah.
I could probably make it better. I can re-aim it. All right, re-aimed. So now more of it is in the body. I can't click.
Yeah, you've been burning the candle at both ends for several days.
I've had like the past several days.
Yeah, you got some great folks to work with. Their donkeys learned a lot. They learned a lot about their donkeys. A lot of laughs, a lot of giggles. Yeah.
And they're not new, like
Yeah.
equine world.
They're not really.
So when you start with the donkey after having done horses, it feels different.
Yes.
I think that a big reason break one simple, what appears to be a simple step, like let's say putting on a halter. How much you take that one simple step and break it down into like, I'm exaggerating, but 20 mini steps.
Well, my layman's view on it is a lot of methodologies that a veteran question generation may run into is just how slow you gotta go. How sometimes the donkey to donkey slower is faster. You know, we did that loadout earlier today, and I felt like we stood there the right amount of time.
But it did kind of feel like a long time, didn't it?
It did. We had people watching.
How slow we go there.
We just ignored the external pressure. Just kind of gentle, patient presence there. Rode into everything right up.
Load it up with people.
It was an aluminum forward trailer, so. But they did go.
Theatrical, there was no pushing on them, like physically pushing on them, trying to drag them in.
I don't feel like you or I that anybody's miles home. Wondering if I'm
This is Richard, guys. If you guys don't know Richard's backstory, you just have to keep watching because there are so many videos out there. This donkey has made me scratch my head more. I think I might have a bald spot.
donkey who refused to be gentle. He's getting there.
I can brush him now. You know, I think another thing that makes it hard for people that are new to donkeys is understanding how to give clarity. So, like, we try to get curiosity. So, if you guys don't know the 4 C's, these are the 4 C's that I made up: curiosity, cooperation. So, I get the question a lot: how do you get curiosity? And I don't think people ask the question, right?
Right.
And how do you get curiosity? And how do you get curious? People get confused with it. And there, stopped him. Oh, look at you. And then look what he's doing. I just love it.
Want to share me?
So, Elton,
We were having a moment.
and he didn't want you to interrupt the moment. He's like, I got mom and dad both here. So, clarity, I think I'm going to try to put it in words, and maybe Dan, you'll have different words. I would try to find how you get clarity in words. Having good timing. And the correct length of a release for that animal.
Yes.
And it can change depending on the situation it's in. So what might be the right release for Richard one day might be different based on what we're doing or how he feels that day.
Right. We go to the next over to a different donkey. Everything is different. You have to go back to the good book, open the cover, you know, another obstacle a new owner of a donkey who has not gentled or trained donkeys before might run into. It's just managing expectations. Yeah. Very much. And appreciate what you got there. To set yourself off ways new donkeys.
It's so easy to come down here to the car and be like, great, this is my agenda. I'm going to do A, B, and C all the way through F, and you can hardly even get A done that happens.
Right. What I'd like to do is I'll see signs that today could be the day that this donkey gets out. Or it might not be. I'll give it a 50-50. I'll give it a 10% chance. I'm setting myself up already to attack it. This girl or something. So I think I'm not disappointed. I did it yesterday and turned over 3 minutes today. And Spanish we might be.
I think sometimes too, because we are agenda, many of us are agenda focused.
Sure.
Even you, you're type B personality, but you still have an agenda sometimes.
Well, when I get in a pen, I'll just use the bulk rank as an example. I sure would like to get it. That is my focus. That's what I want the result to be, the result of my effort. But I have to remind myself that might not happen.
But sometimes I think to get too focused on the agenda, push too far.
Oh, I cross those lines all the time.
Okay, that's where I'm going with it. And then I think that sometimes because we're so focused on the agenda, the item that we want or items, that we work too hard on that item and make the donkey feel uncomfortable. And a good cue that you're at that point is that you yourself are starting to feel frustrated. Because if you're starting to feel frustrated, the donkey has feelings too.
If you're, yes, absolutely. If you're feeling frustrated, your donkey's already very frustrated.
Yeah.
And they're so stoic, they might not show it for another 10, 15 minutes.
This is so true. Are you checking for comments? I forgot last time we did full line.
Cowboy crew. How do I get my donkeys to not stop and eat grass when I walk?
So we actually worked on this today. what I like to do is a very abrupt bump. So I don't want to be like, let's just pretend like your arm is the lead rope. I don't want to be like, stop it, stop it.
Right.
If I have to ask that same question 4 or 5 times, I'm almost in a disease. I want to be very clear. I want that clarity to be there. So I just take my arm and I go like this, bump really fast. That's one time. That's it. And I'm done. Now, it doesn't take long before that donkey understands when you are abrupt, that means that they're going to get a bump on their chin. And then I can just start kind of raise my arm and they're like, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to eat.
Yes. And in addition to that, try to have eyes in the back of your head and watch their body language. And as you see them gesture like they're going to grab that yummy green stuff, before they have grabbed it, try and give them that little pop.
I think you can actually kind of feel that.
Yeah, but you got to be paying attention. Because everything I own is notorious munching on this podcast. I'm the guilty part. And when I've been corrected by professionals, that's what, besides my life. Is to try and watch and get after it before it happens. Try to be proactive. It's easier said than done. But if you're not, and all of a sudden Clover is munching on Clover, pop, pop. Not a direct pull. No, stop that. We got places to go. No direct pressure. Pop, pop. Be annoying,
Yep. Quick, abrupt, and then done.
Yeah. Because you tug on your own shirt. This is much more annoying than.
Right. A donkey will just brace back into you. So if you just kind of pull, they'll just push into you, pull back kind of thing.
They'll brace against it. So if that's all I got to do to eat this yummy stuff, I can know that. But that's annoying. They don't like to be annoying.
Now, with that annoying thought, one of the things I was trying to help my person with, because her donk loves to back up to get her butt scratched. This is about donkey. So the donkey doesn't know this yet, but to scoot, to teach them to scoot, I just put my thumb kind of on the rib cage where my foot would go until they move, right? But the first time I did this with one of Hannah's mammoth donkeys, this was like 3 or 4 houses ago, a long time ago. I was trying to be annoying because it wasn't responding. So I took my thumb and instead of just holding it there, I rubbed it back and forth over the rib. That donkey kicked me. I was standing at its front shoulder and it contacted me with its back leg. So don't be too annoying. You're right annoying.
How big will my wild Burros get? And will I be able to ride them? That's a good question. I don't know how old your Burros are now. On a yearling burro, or a donkey, or a mule, or a horse, as I understand this to be true, if you measure from the top of their hoof wall to the center of their knee, that distance in inches, let's say it's 13 and a half inches. That's pretty close to how tall that animal's going to mature. 13 to this is at I think a yearling or a 2-year-old is true on. So that's a good way to measure. And so for a skilled, balanced rider, and was it 25 or 30% of their body weight?
Yeah, you can go to 30%. Like I try to be careful with it. I ride Seamus and I'm at the top of what that was at the top of what he could handle, and I kind of just tried to kind of that I didn't thought I was anything.
Right. But for their size, that's balanced. I thought the word balanced in. We're not talking about packing.
Packing, I expect 20%.
Yeah. So if you're an accomplished saddleman, that's going to be balanced. Yeah, you can ride. Most adults can ride a 12-2 AM donkey if they're under 150 pounds. But that's not. Some of the wild burros, they're pretty few and far. We keep our eyes open for them. When we see them, we snatch them up. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see. So this week we're gonna be back to like our normal schedule this week, which we've done our normal schedule this last week also, but we'll probably I'm thinking about throwing in
our normal schedule last week.
I think we did our normal.
I went to Utah. Utah, so I was gone Sunday afternoon, all day Monday. Didn't get back to almost dark on Tuesday. And slept for 20 hours. So life began on Thursday. Yeah, so there were some disruptions in our normal schedule, but this week, other than some emergency fishing needs to get done, and some camper repair.
Yes, we got campers. I think you can see one of them in the background. So we're getting campers here, guys, for our camps and clinics. I'm kind of excited about that. This is Dan's idea. See if they're even. Can you see them right now, Dan?
You see the critter? Oh, there's a couple of handsome donkeys back there.
There is some nice.
Yeah, you got a wonderful forehead in the picture there. Yeah,
it's big forehead.
Oh yeah.
But for you two, we were able to stick to our normal schedule. I released them on Big Wednesday.
Yes, yes.
And I think this week we might try to throw in a members only go live. We haven't decided details yet, so we'll post them once we decide.
So forecast on Wednesday is supposed to 90 degrees. So mid morning it's gonna be beautiful.
So maybe Wednesday mid morning.
Mid morning, because usually our winds, if we're getting wind that hot and a cool day next day, there's probably some afternoon wind. But I bet you that Wednesday morning, mid morning, is gonna be absolutely beautiful.
So we might throw in a Wednesday morning members only go live, and then we'll be back to our Sunday, Stoic Sunday, public for absolutely everybody to come watch. There's been some big changes happening with Richard. I am so excited about. Maybe we'll use him for that go live because of
That's a good idea. Yeah, he's come a very long way.
You know, we've been working with him since December 20th, and in December also for Alton. But after they get gentled and they go to their new homes, their feet are long. I want to get them trimmed because I want them to have time when they get to their new home. There's another thing to talk about before we go live. Do you have another question?
Cowboy crew. How old are you boys? Because they want to know how heavy they were.
And even with that, we don't know because some are like, some have a really thick bone structure and some have a thinner bone structure.
Right.
You know. Gosh, he's probably you can't see him in this, but this is a client's dog. Probably 12 hands.
Yeah, he might be 12. Yeah, he's probably 12.
But I wouldn't ride him.
No, he's a bit slow trained.
You know, if your donkey is too light, too small, and you're riding it, let's say you're 150 pounds, you're riding the dog, but they're kind of small, what might happen and what you might notice is they have a hard time holding the balance, right? Because they're shifting, holding your weight, and it could be a struggle for them to manage that.
Yep.
And yeah.
Let's see what else have we got here. It's Mother's Day today, and they are. I thought I saw 1 year old. Cowboy crew. I just thought I saw people that are 1 year old. And it disappeared.
No, let's go on that with that one. The donkey's not done. Sure.
But if you look around on the property, look at the average size of the adult donkeys. I would say most of them are between 12 and 600 pounds. On average, I mean, there's some bigger, smaller, but yeah. He's not 12 hands. He's probably 2.
So time will tell for sure.
Yeah.
That age. I was going to say something else that makes a difference there. Oh, I know what it was. So let's just say you go get a gentle donkey, and then you bring it home, and it's doing all of its things, picking up its feet, leading, loading in the trailer. But now it needs to have that relationship with you. And I think having that rapport, the connection, makes all of that stuff possible or limited. You have to re-earn it.
Cowboy crew, yes. MaryJo was trained and rode wild burros, many wild burros, and her main ride is a wild burro who does a pretty good job working cattle.
If you look on the playlist, guys, Wild Donkey Off. That is who my main donkey ride is. I ride Seamus with that.
Right, you brought the wild donkey down to Arizona for the mule days there this spring. She gets ridden all over the place. Yeah, they do. They can make a real good trail animal.
Absolutely. Allah likes the trail a lot better than she likes going into the arena and having to do silly games.
She don't think much of the arena, but give her a try.
And I'm going to keep working on that to get her better in the arena. But right now, that's where we're at.
Yeah. So if we start counting saddle donkeys over the past year or two,
I don't have enough saddles if we start counting saddle donkeys.
You know, I don't know. I suppose 8, 10. We've cranked out, and I'm off. This is round math. Maybe 8 adult rider saddle wild burros the past 2 years, 3 years. Yeah. You start thinking about Uno and Velma and these donkeys at Atlas, the Golden Girls. That's Grace and Bahala.
We started Velma on her saddle. And she was smaller, but we still had my kids. Yeah, we started a lot.
Once they're gentle, they do like being ridden. They like that human connection.
And they like the change of scenery, right? Like they really like the mental stimulation that happens when you go do something.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that mental stimulation is scary. And you work through it. Seamus used to be afraid of everything, guys. I remember I had 2 50-gallon drums set up, and I was trying to get him to walk through them. Took an hour. We were not successful. I'd come in the house crying. I'll never get.
Oh, I remember the crying days. Yeah. Well,
you're not in the video now.
Oh, well.
You're making it rattle.
Earthquake.
It was an earthquake?
It's my stomach.
Oh, your stomach.
You said you wanted to go out to dinner for Mother's Day.
Yes, I would love that.
So we should probably say goodnight.
Okay, we'll do a longer one next time, guys.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
She's got at least 12 hours in today of being out here, so I know she's hungry. I know she's hungry.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Right.
Thank you for joining us. Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Mother's Day, everybody. Have a great day.
See ya.